Okay, get this. A woman served her husband with divorce papers.
Oh.
But get this, using his favorite website, Reddit.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And not just any Reddit post. She put him on blast on Rita,
Yeah. Yeah.
where internet strangers judge your every life choice.
Oh, that's brutal.
Talk about a public breakup.
Yeah, that's rough. That's a modern twist on a classic tale of marital woes, wouldn't you say? It's like airing your dirty laundry for the whole world to see.
Exactly.
But instead of a town square, it's a global forum of, well, anonymous commentators.
Exactly. Our deep dive today takes us right into this digital drama. The source material? A juicy post from, well, it's a fictional subreddit, but it's incredibly similar to, the real deal.
Intriguing. So we're exploring not just a relationship breakdown, but also the role of online communities in shaping personal narratives and offering, shall we say, unsolicited advice.
Exactly. Our main players are a very pregnant woman, let's call her OP, her soon-to-be ex-husband, Steffan, who apparently spends more time on Reddit than with his wife,
Oh,
and his mother, who the internet has lovingly dubbed, mommy wife.
a classic mother-in-law in the mix. This has all the makings of a Shakespearean tragedy, but with memes.
Oh, totally. OP's post is a laundry list of grievances, and honestly, some of them are so out there, they're almost funny.
Really?
Years of constant criticism from the mother-in-law, a husband who's glued to Reddit 24/7, even missing important life events for internet points.
Oh, no.
It's wild.
So what stands out to you as particularly telling in her account?
Okay, imagine this. Their wedding day. The mother-in-law shows up in a white dress.
What?
Her excuse, family tradition.
Uh-huh.
Spoiler alert, not a family tradition.
A classic power move disguised as tradition. That speaks volumes about the family dynamics at play here.
Right, and then there's the heirloom necklace. Apparently the mother-in-law accidentally destroyed it because she thought it looked cheap.
Accident.
Oh, and how can I forget? Steffan missed their first ultrasound because his mother needed help with her Wi-Fi. Wi-Fi over witnessing his child for the first time. You can't make this stuff up.
Wow. Well, that paints a picture of misplaced priorities and perhaps an unhealthy level of dependence on his mother, don't you think?
Yeah. And the commenters? They did not hold back.
Oh, I bet.
The nicknames they came up with are pure gold.
Like Gale.
Sonsband for Steffan, because apparently he's more married to his mother than his wife.
And mommy wife for the mother-in-law, who seems to have a very hand-on approach to her son's marriage.
The comments are a mix of outrage and hilarity. It's clear that OP's story struck a nerve, and the Reddit community is rallying around her.
That communal response is fascinating. It suggests a shared understanding of what constitutes acceptable behavior within a relationship and a willingness to call out what they perceive as transgressions.
Definitely. And some commenters went full-on internet detective mode. They're trying to track down Steffan's Reddit username because apparently he has a habit of rating women's breasts online.
Oh dear, that's venturing into some murky territory.
Right. But it gets even weirder. Apparently he has a very specific type and consistently give them a 4 out of 10 rating.
Well, that's oddly specific information to include in a divorce announcement. I wonder if that detail reveals more about Steffan or about the commenter's eagerness to dig up dirt.
Good point. It seems like nothing is off limits in the court of public opinion.
Indeed. And that raises questions about the ethics of digital scrutiny and the potential for online shaming.
We'll definitely unpack that more later. But first, let's dive deeper into some of the more outrageous comments and advice OP received from the Reddit community. Buckle up, because this is where things get really interesting.
Diving into these comments, it's like opening Pandora's box of opinions, and let's just say some of these Redditors are serving up advice with a side of sass.
Oh, absolutely. They're dissecting every detail of OP's post with the precision of a brain surgeon, but with way more emojis and all caps comments.
What struck me is the range of responses. You have the legal eagles, quoting obscure custody laws, the armchair therapist diagnosing Steffan with everything under the sun, and then, well, the comedians.
Don't forget the self-proclaimed private investigators, determined to expose Steffan's secret Reddit life, based on his bizarre breast rating scale.
Right. It's like the internet's version of a neighborhood watch meeting. But instead of discussing suspicious vans, they're analyzing the psychological implications of a grown man giving a C-cup a 4 out of 10.
Right. And the nicknames just keep getting better. Reddit Widow for OP. Control, Alt, delete this marriage. It's a goldmine.
It really highlights this fascinating dynamic, the internet's ability to simultaneously offer support and entertainment, often blurring the lines between empathy and amusement.
For sure. But beyond the jokes, there's genuine concern for OP. People are urging her to lawyer up, document everything, and get out of that house ASAP, preferably to a state where the mother-in-law's Wi-Fi signal doesn't reach.
Right. It's a reminder that even in this chaotic digital landscape, there's a human element. People are connecting over shared experiences, offering advice, and even practical support. It's almost like a modern-day village, except this village is populated by anonymous avatars and fueled by spicy memes.
Speaking of spicy, let's not forget the commenters, who are convinced that Steffan is going to flip out when he sees the post.
Oh, really?
They're predicting a full-blown meltdown, complete with angry Reddit rants and desperate attempts to defend his mommy wife.
It's like they're eagerly awaiting the next act of this digital drama. Popcorn in hand, I have to admit, there's a certain morbid curiosity about how...
Absolutely. And imagine the mother-in-law's response. Will she storm the Reddit servers? Demand a recount of the asshole votes? The possibilities are endless.
I know, right? This whole situation is a prime example of how the lines between our online and offline lives are blurring. It's a social experiment, unfolding in real time, with the internet serving as both the stage and the audience.
And it raises some fascinating questions about digital literacy and the implications of sharing our personal lives online.
Absolutely. What are the ethical boundaries of public shaming? How do we navigate online communities that can be both supportive and toxic?
Big questions indeed. And this Reddit divorce is just the tip of the iceberg. Stay tuned as we unpack the larger implications of this digital drama and explore what it all means for the future of relationships, communication, and internet culture. Okay, we're back. Ready to wrap up this Reddit divorce deep dive? I mean, it's got the whole internet buzzing. What a wild ride. Hilarious nicknames, questionable advice, and some seriously intense armchair detective work, huh?
It's certainly highlighted the unpredictable nature of these online communities and, their ability to both amplify and complicate these personal matters.
Absolutely. This case is like a huge cautionary tale about what happens when your relationship drama spills over into the vast ocean of Reddit.
It reminds us that while technology, offers incredible tools for connection, it also has the power to magnify our vulnerabilities and create these unintended consequences.
Right. Think about it. Steffan was probably just trying to escape into, the comforting glow of his phone screen, blissfully unaware that his digital life was about to collide with his real-life problems in a very public way.
Yeah. I mean, it speaks to a larger trend, don't you think? The blurring of boundaries between our online and offline selves. The actions we take in the digital world can have real-world repercussions, and sometimes those repercussions are amplified by the very communities we seek solace in.
Exactly. And in this case, that community is Reddit, a place where humor, judgment, and a thirst for internet justice, they all converge.
Exactly. It's a fascinating case study in how online communities can become both judge and jury, right? Offering support, but also condemnation in equal measure.
Yeah. They're like the Greek chorus of the internet, commenting on the unfolding drama and offering their unsolicited 2 cents on everything from legal strategies to the proper way to roast a Sonsband.
The level of engagement, it's remarkable. It highlights the human need for connection, for shared experiences, and perhaps even for a sense of belonging within a digital tribe.
It's like we're all craving that water cooler moment, but instead of gathering around a physical space, we're congregating in these online forums, bonding over shared outrage and trading witty remarks.
And in a way, it's a form of collective catharsis, isn't it? By participating in these online discussions, we're able to process our own emotions, validate each other's experiences, and perhaps even find humor in the midst of someone else's messy situation.
It's a reminder that even in the vastness of the internet, we're not alone in our struggles. There's always someone out there who's been through something similar, who gets it, and who's ready with a meme and a virtual shoulder to cry on.
It really is a testament to the enduring human need for connection, even if that connection is, mediated through screens and expressed through emojis.
So what's the takeaway from all of this?
Well, I think it's multifaceted. On one hand, we have to acknowledge the potential downsides of oversharing online and the very real possibility of internet pile-ons and public shaming.
Definitely. It's a good reminder to be mindful of our digital footprint and to, think twice before hitting send on that emotionally charged post.
Right. But on the other hand, we can't ignore the power of online communities. To offer support, validation, and even a sense of belonging. They can be a source of information, humor, and connection in a world that can often feel so isolating.
Yeah, it's all about finding that balance, navigating the digital landscape. with awareness, empathy, and of course a healthy dose of humor.
And perhaps, most importantly, remembering that behind every screen name, an avatar, is a real person with real feelings and a story that deserves to be heard, even if that story involves a white dress, a broken necklace, and a Sonsband who'd rather fix his mom's Wi-Fi than witness his child's first ultrasound.
Well said. And on that note, we'll leave you with one final thought to ponder. In this age of hyperconnectivity, how can we harness the power of online communities for good? While, of course, mitigating the potential for harm. It's a question that deserves our attention, both online and offline.
Absolutely. Thanks for joining us on this deep dive. We'll see you next time for another fascinating exploration of the human experience in the digital age.